This is a recording of Lesson A08, Deriving and Using Volume Formulas. This video lesson will only cover cylinders. You will have a different video lesson on how to do cones. So just so we know by the end of this lesson what we should be able to do, you should be able to recall and use the formulas of volumes of prisms and cylinders. Again, in the next video lesson, you'll be able to use the volume formula and recall the volume formula for cones. So what is the mathematical name for each of these three items? Well, hopefully the can of soup we know is a cylinder. Then the hat for the birthday is a cone. And then the quality street is a prism. So then when we look at that, what if we want to have a more structured definition of what is a cylinder, what is a cone, and what is a prism? So, and then also what is volume, what's cubic units? So the volume of a solid is the measure of the amount of space that it occupies. Again, volume is measured in cubic units, such as cubic inches or cubic centimeters. Solids can be classified and named based on the shape of their faces. So a prism is a solid that has two identical bases and flat sides. So when we look at a prism, if you notice, it has two identical bases. So if you look at this rectangular prism, it has two rectangular bases, and then it is connected by four flat sides. Now, how do we name the prism? You name it by the shape of their base. So this is a rectangular prism. Again, this is a prism. It has two identical bases, and then it is combined with six flat sides. So again, a hexagonal prism, because the base is a hexagon. A cylinder is a solid that has two identical bases, circles or ovals, and a curved side. So again, this is a cylinder. It's like that soup can you saw on the first slide. It has two identical bases, again, either circles or ovals, and then it's connected by a curved side. A cone, as you can see down here, is a solid that has one base, a circle or oval, and a curved side that comes to a point. So a cone has one circular base, and it comes up to one point. A pyramid is a solid that has one base, just like the cone, it has one base and flat sides that come to a point. So a cone has a curved side. A pyramid has flat sides that come to a point. And again, you name pyramids by the shape of their base. So this is a rectangular pyramid because the base is a rectangle. This is a heptagonal pyramid because the base is a heptagon. So how do you find the volume of a prism? And again, prisms are two identical bases that are surrounded by flat sides to come together to make a shape. So the volume of a prism is the product of the area of the base. So this capital B here means the area of the base and the height h. So if you see a capital B here in that volume formula, it means the volume of the base, not the volume, the area of the base. So if we look at this rectangular prism here, again, write the formula. Volume is equal to the area of the base times the height. Well, let's compute the area of the base over here. So area of the base is equal to, now, it's a rectangular prism. So we're doing the area formula for a rectangle, which again is base times height or length times width. Well, the base length looks to be 12. The height, so again, 12 is the base length of this rectangle. The height looks to be 8. So 12 times 8, which is 96. So let's go plug that in. You get 96. And then what is the height of this prism? The height of the prism is the height connecting the two bases of the prism. So again, this pink area here is the base. So to get from the top to the bottom, it's the length of 2 inches. So that's the height of the prism. So we're going to take 96 times 2, which hopefully, when we do that, you're going to get 192. Remember your units though. Never forget your units. 192 cubic inches. You could also write this as 192 cubic inches, just like that. So if you look at the image on the right, that's a triangular prism. So again, write down the formula. Volume is equal to the area of the base times the height. So let's calculate the area of the base. Well, it's a triangle, so it's 1/2 times the base times the height. So 1/2 times, well, here, the base of the triangle is 4. Height of the triangle is 3. Well, 4 times 3 is 12. Times 1/2, well, that's 6. The area of the base is 6 squared meters. So we get 6 times the height of the triangle, or the triangular prism. Well, again, from the base to the base, well, that is going to be 10 meters. So 6 times 10, which is 60. So the volume is 60 cubic meters. Don't ever forget your label. And then again, you could call that 60 cubic meters in this form. So that's how you find the volume of a prism. So how do you find the volume of a cylinder? Well, notice again, the volume of a cylinder, the base is a circle. So the area of the base, again, area of a circle is pi r squared. And then again, we're multiplying by the height. That's how they get this formula. Again, area of the base for a circle is pi r squared multiplied by the height. Now remember, radius is the distance from the point that's the middle of the circle to one of the edges. So they may give you the diameter in a problem, and we need you to make sure you only use the radius, so cut it in half. So write down the formula. Volume is equal to pi r squared times h. So pi times r squared. Well, the radius here, well, the diameter is 6. So we need to cut that in half. The radius going to be 3. So times 3 squared times the height of the cylinder. Again, height is from the base to the other base, so that's 9. So we have pi times 3 squared times 9. So pi times 9 times 9. So you could say it was 81 pi. You could plug this in your calculator and do 81 times 3.14. Make sure to ask your teacher what form they would prefer you to write your answer in. Your teacher may be okay with just 81 times pi. They may want you to plug it in as 81 times 3.14. They may want you to use the pi button on your calculator. So just make sure to verify with your teacher how they want you to write your answer for volume when you have pi. So your answer, if you were to multiply that out, would be 254 cubic centimeters. Again, you could write it like this. So next lesson, you'll be learning about volume of a cone, but that is how you find the volume of prisms and cylinders. Again, make sure you took notes during this lesson. Go back and rewatch something if you have questions. Otherwise, keep up the great work.